Once upon a time, in a small, quiet village, there were two animals that couldn't stand each other, a scrappy dog named Max and a sleek, prideful cat named Whiskers. Max, a brawny bulldog with a thick coat of fur, had always been the village's protector, guarding the fences and barking at strangers. Whiskers, on the other hand, was a quick-witted tabby, always strutting around with an air of superiority, her fur gleaming in the sunlight. For years, there had been a silent rivalry between them, a constant game of one-upmanship. Max would bark loudly when Whiskers tried to sneak past him, while she would always find a way to outsmart him, darting between his legs or swiping at his tail. But neither of them had ever truly crossed the line until one fateful day. It was a crisp autumn afternoon, the air filled with the scent of fallen leaves and damp earth. Max was lounging lazily on the porch of his owner's house when Whiskers appeared in the yard, her green eyes gleaming with mischief. She had heard that Max's owner had just planted a beautiful new garden, filled with delicate flowers and bright vegetables. Naturally, Whiskers was determined to investigate and to show off her stealthy prowess. Max spotted her immediately. "Not today, Whiskers," he growled, pushing himself up onto his paws. His fur bristled and his eyes narrowed. He wasn't about to let her sneak into the garden without a fight. With a flick of her tail, Whiskers darted toward the gate, but Max was faster. He lunged at her with a growl, his large body hitting the ground with a heavy thud. Whiskers, quick as a flash, leapt up and landed on the fence out of his reach. "You think you can keep me out?" she hissed, her tail flicking in the air. Max barked loudly, his frustration rising. "This is my yard and you're not welcome!" And just like that, the rivalry turned into a battle. Whiskers leapt from the fence and landed on Max's back, scratching at him with sharp claws. Max howled in pain, but he was determined to protect his turf. He spun around, trying to catch her with his teeth, but Whiskers was too quick. She danced around him, landing quick swipes against his face. Max, enraged and desperate to catch her, lunged again, but this time he miscalculated. Whiskers, with one swift movement, darted to the side and raked her claws across his eye. Max howled in agony as the world blurred before him, his eye stinging with pain. He staggered back, pawing at his face in a panic, but Whiskers didn't let up. She leapt onto his back once more, her claws digging into his fur. In that moment, Max realized he couldn't win this fight, not today. His vision was blurry, his movements slower. His pride was shattered. With a final growl, he turned and bolted, retreating into the house, his injured eye throbbing with pain. Whiskers stood tall, her body sleek and poised, her victory complete. She swished her tail and gave a satisfied purr. She hadn't just beaten Max, she had bested him in every way. As the sun set, painting the sky with hues of pink and orange, the village grew quiet once more. Max, nursing his wound and licking his injured eye, knew he'd have to be more careful next time. And Whiskers, though victorious, knew she would always be one step ahead in their eternal game of cat and dog. From that day forward, Max never underestimated the cunning of Whiskers again. And though they would still argue, bark, and hiss at each other, there was a quiet understanding between them. A respect born from the battle that had proven once and for all that sometimes brains outshine brawn.